Okay. Third time's a charm, maybe? Y'all, this is so not my day for going live. I've like rebooted my phone while putting this thing on the mount. I have I've turned my phone off. I've done all the things to my phone, but except for get it right. So we'll see how it works now. We'll see if it works at all. Let's see if we can get a little bit of extra light over here. Okay, so sorry for the late hour. We are doing a little bit of late night crafting because my mom is in town, so this is when we could work it out. And so we're going to make this little fun shaker card, except we're going to use the new, instead of the sequins, we're going to use these new, the gold glitter flakes. They're big. Oh, hi, Suzanne. So apparently this is a good time for you. All right, so I'm going to show you, and I don't have anything else, I'm just doing, hey, thanks for joining me. I don't have anything else. I'm not going to talk about anything else except like celebration, you know. Celebration's going on right now. If you place a $50 or $100 order, depending on what the item is, you get a celebration freebie. So keep that in mind with all orders you place, and make sure you use your my host code for the month, which is at the bottom of every blog post I write, so that you can get a little bit of extra freebies from me. So this is, it's a good topic. Yes, it is. It is a good topic. We're going to make this shaker card. I'm actually casing this card from the celebration brochure. I took it and I changed the colors up a little bit, and then I turned it sideways. I turned it landscape instead of portrait. And then I added also some little party blowers instead of just having the bows. So I'm going to show you how to make all this. I have some things pre-done, but I'm going to show you how to do all of it, even the stuff that I have pre-made. So here we go. We'll get started. I've got an Emerald Envy card base. This is one of our colors that's going to retire at the end of May. So, and I suggest with any retiring colors that you go ahead and have them by March, because they'll start selling out as soon as, they will sell out the day the retiring list is announced, but they sometimes sell it before then. Okay, and this, I have a piece of shimmery white cardstock. I'm going to see if I can show you the shimmer. No, you can't see it. Well, anyway, it's shimmery, believe me. And first thing I'm going to do, actually, I think I'm going to die cut it first, because I'm going to cut the Celebrate. And let me show you. This is from the Celebrate You Thinlits that goes with the Amazing You stamp set. So if you buy a $50 item, you can get the, no, $50 item, you get the stamp set if you want it. You can choose other items too, but you can choose the the Amazing You stamp set for $50. Or if you get a $100 item, if you have a $100 order, you can get the Celebrate You Thinlits. If you have 150, you could get them both together, and they coordinate very nicely. So we're actually going to use the stamps too, just a tiny bit of the stamps. And then these are the Thinlits. You get the Celebrate, Amazing, and You. So we are going to use the Celebrate, and I'm going to do that off screen. I'll talk to you while I'm doing it, so you're not completely and utterly bored. But I've already lost my shimmery white cardstock, as you knew I would, because that's the first thing I do in any live craft video is lose stuff. It's right there under my card. I'm going to put this to the side. So we had a kind of a crazy week. My papa, who was 95, a World War II vet, he got really sick. He had the flu and pneumonia, and I think that all aggravated his congestive heart failure. But, okay, so I've just cut this out. And then look, you get this gorgeous word to use on something else. And you know what? I should have watercolored it first, which I did the other day, and I'll show you what it looks like. Should have watercolored my card front first. So my papa got really sick, and he died. So that was Monday. and I was able to get there before he passed away and see him. And so I was really glad I was able to make it there. And then I turned around Tuesday and drove home, and then drove back with my family on Thursday, and we had the visitation Thursday night and then the funeral on Friday. Okay, so here's your celebrate word that you get when you cut out. And so now you've got two things to use. And I'll show you when I made this card, I watercolored it first, which I'm now going to recommend that you do, because look what I have for putting on another card front. So you could just like stick there, stick on some embellishments, stick it on a card base, and boom, you're done. Okay, move that. But so now I'm going to, not really sure why I decided to cut first, but I did. So there you go. So now I'm gonna do a little bit of watercolor wash on this, and I'm just wetting kind of the whole thing with my aqua painter, getting quite a decent amount of water on there, and then I'm gonna squeeze my ink pad. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yeah, he was, it was very sad for us because, I mean, he was a really good papa and we really, really love him. But we also were like, we got 95, I mean, well, I got 41 years with him, but he had 95 years and he was tired and he was ready. And so we know he's in a better place now. So we're all kind of at peace with it, though we're really, still really sad. So, yeah, here's another reason to watercolor this, or first, because then you don't have to try to make sure you get water on these things. But who knows, it might turn out kind of looking cool. So we want to let this part dry before we move on to the next color. This one was Emerald Envy. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to dab a little with the baby wipe, and then I'm actually going to hit it with the heat tool, just because y'all know I cannot wait for stuff to dry unless I'm actually leaving the room. I'm going to dab a little. Yeah, let's get some more. Let's get some better coverage down there. I dabbed too much. So I'm going to dab in here. And then I'm just going to hit it with the heat tool to dry it so I can do the other colors. So bear with me with the sound. So it was, that was our whole week last week. And my mom was going to come last week, but then of course we all ended up in West Texas instead. So she is actually here now. My mother-in-law went out with us for the funeral, and my mom rode back. My mom and my mother-in-law drove back together because we were planning. She was planning to come last week, so she came this week instead. So now this is dry. So now I'm going to do the other color, and the reason I do it this way, is because, oh, hi Donna, hi Letitia. Thanks for joining me for some bedtime crafting over here. Of course, it's not bedtime for y'all. It's probably, what, like midday, noonish or something. Or 11. So, I paint this and then I dry it, because then when I paint on my next bit of color, I don't have the Emerald Envy running into my pool party. If this was still wet, then I would get a lot of Emerald Envy in my pool party. But doing it this way, I'm just squeezing the ink pad here to get ink on the lid. Doing it this way, I'm going to get mostly just pool party, and it might pick up a little bit of the Emerald Envy, and I know it kind of looks like these are not very different colors, but when they dry, they are pretty different. So you might be like, well, why are you putting down that same color? But it's not, right? Yeah, I changed colors. Just had to make sure, because you never know with me, right? But it's okay if I let this run into the Emerald Envy, and that's fine. And I'm gonna let the Flirty Flamingo run into the pool party too. So this doesn't have to be any kind of perfect. It's just kind of a wash background, and it doesn't have to be, I'm not trying to get it even. If I wanted it to be even and kind of perfectly rectangular, I would tape off the sides or mask off the sides with some masking tape or even washi tape. Okay, So I'm going to dry that too with the heat tool. 7:30. Well, yeah, Suzanne, you're in Canada, right? But I was thinking of Donna, who joined. I know she's in Australia. So it's 7:30 p.m., right, for you, Suzanne? It is, I think it's 9:30 here. Yes. And the sad part is I have not fed my husband yet. We got home late because I went shopping with my mom. We went and had sushi. Well, I had sushi. My mom did not have sushi. I had sushi and she had seafood. And then we went shopping. And when I go shopping for house stuff by myself, I cannot find anything. But when I go shopping with my mom, I find everything. So now I'm going to paint on some water, and then I'm going to put on Flirty Flamingo. And make sure your aqua painter is really full, like all the way to the top whenever you start, because you'll use all the water in the aqua painter. And you won't have to refill if you're... you know, on this one card if your aqua painter's full at the beginning. And so now I'm putting on Flirty Flamingo, which I like. It kind of comes out peachy, but then it dries pink. Yeah, so we went first to Home Goods, and then we went to Hobby Lobby. And I know, my poor starving husband. Well, the stew, I'm making beef stew. It's in the Instant Pot. It's on its way. It's, you know, doing the natural release, because it's stew. So it's doing the natural release, and I figured I had time to do a live video, and by the time I finish, and I'm going to let some of this run around the card just for fun. By the time I finish my video, the natural release will be done, and it'll be all ready to eat, and all I have to do is add some peas for a few minutes, and then we're good. So, I know, poor guy. So I went to Home Goods with my mom, and then we went to Hobby Lobby, and my clock was on sale for half off, which I've been waiting for, like, for it to be right timing, where I'm actually there on the week that it's 50%. And I found 2 lamps that I love, so I was very excited. Okay, one more with the heat tool. This time I want to make sure I get it really dry because we're about to start gluing. Okay, I mean, it doesn't have to be super dry. I just want to make sure there aren't any drips because I'm going to be turning it over a lot. I don't want to deal with... Oh, that is not dry. Hang on. I'm going to hit it from the back just to try to straighten it out a little bit. But really, I use the liquid glue, and also this time we're using foam strips, and that'll be strong enough that it really doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because it'll end up on the card straight. So that's straight-ish. So we're good. Okay, now we're going to make the shaker part of the card. So I have a piece of window sheet, and this is, let's see, that's 5 1/4 by 4. And I cut this about, oh, what did I cut it? Like 4 3/4 by, I think, 2 inches. So I'm just going to glue the window sheet on the back. And I'm going to go around the edges here. I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to go around the edges of the window sheet here. So Suzanne, you must be in Western Canada. If it's 7:30 there. So I'm gonna go around the edges, and then here I'm gonna actually glue on the little flaps that are flipping down into this to make sure that we get the letters glued down to it. So any of these little, I don't know, like fingers. I don't know. I almost said a word, and I'm not sure if it's an appropriate word. I think it means fingers, but I don't want to say it in case I'm wrong and it means something vulgar or something. Okay, so, all right. So I'm going to put that there, and then I'm just going to flip this over and glue it on. And now I'm going to lift this up before the glue dries because I see that I've got some glue on here and I don't want it to glue down to my grid paper. So I'm just going to wipe that off with my finger. You can come in, after it's all dry, you can come in with a baby wipe and wipe off any excess glue when it's on the window sheet. When it's on the card part, just hit it with your glue eraser. A pink eraser works fine too, the big pink eraser. That works fine too. So then I'm just hitting these little spots to make sure they're glued down to the thing. Okay, so now we're going to put some foam strips on. We have these adhesive foam strips near Vancouver. Oh, okay. About 4 hours drive. Oh, okay, cool. I thought that was where you lived. And I'm going pretty close to the word because I want to make sure all my shaky bits don't fall down like way down here, because then what good are they? So go pretty close to the word that you're, what happened to my scissors now? Pretty close to the word that you're, oh, hi Jessie, nice to see you here. Oh, this is like perfect time for all of my international Stampin' Up! Friends. All of my people, all of the people I know through Stampin' Up! Who don't live in America. So, okay, so I'm going to tell y'all while I'm doing all this foam stripping, for those of you who don't read my blog, I have to tell you a funny story about how crazy I am. So, after my papa died, we went back to our hotel, which is in downtown Big Spring. And Big Spring is a small town in West Texas. And by like, I don't know, 9 o'clock, it's pretty deserted downtown and pretty well shut down. This one might be better. So, and my kind of coping mechanism is Doritos. So before I went back to the hotel, I made the very important stop at Walmart to get some Doritos. And here, let me, yeah. Okay. So, I went to Walmart to get some Doritos, and so I was getting to the hotel later than everyone else. So I was like walking in by myself. That's the whole point of telling you about the Doritos. I was walking in by myself, and when you turn into this hotel, and it's very deserted and very quiet and a little bit creepy. And when you turn into this hotel, it's shaker guts. That's funny. I like that. The shaker guts of the card. Yes, good. I'm gonna have to steal that. So when you turn into this hotel, you can't see the alcoves next to the door. You can just see the door from the sidewalk. And so you can't see the alcoves until you're right up on them. And I turned toward the door. Okay, I think that's enough. Do you think that's enough? I turned toward the door, and right when I got to the door, there was a man standing in the shadows, and it freaked me out so bad because I just wasn't expecting him at all because I thought I could see everything. And I just shouted at him. I didn't really shout at him. I just shouted because I was exclaiming because I was terrified. I was like, "Good night, nurse," because that's apparently what I shout when I'm scared and taken off guard. I was just glad that I didn't like cuss at him or something. So I shouted at him, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to give you a heart attack." And I composed myself, and I was like, "Sorry, I scared you." And I walked inside, you know, trying to pretend that I was totally fine. So fast forward to, that was like 10 o'clock at night. So then, however many hours later it was. Wait, am I getting everything on that I need to? Oh, before I do that, I should have done it before I did it. Well, now we're just going to have to do it after it's on the card. I meant to stamp you right here before I put this on. Oh, wait, don't do that. We have to have our shaker bits in there before we put it down. So we're just going to put some of these gold flakes in there. Oh, they just like spill out when you stick your fingers in. This is my first time to use them. I totally forgot I had them. And then I saw someone else use them on a card today, and I went, oh, or yeah, it was today. Okay, so let's put these little shaky bits in here. And you're going to kind of group them because you're going to be, because you want them to be within this part. So, okay, so Goodnight Nurse. I actually got that. I don't know if you remember this movie. I think it came out in the 90s called Return to Me. It had Minnie Driver and David Duchovny, and she gets his dead wife's heart in a heart transplant. And Jim Belushi is in that, and he yells "Goodnight Nurse" at some point, and that has always stuck in my head. And so when I get surprised, I yell it. So that's why, Suzanne. So anyway, okay, now I'm going to put this down. Okay, that looks good. I think I have them in the right spot. So I yelled "Goodnight Nurse," and I walked in the hotel. And so now 2.5 hours later, it's 12:30 a.m. And my mom and I decided, because it's 12:30, we decided to go down and watch a movie in my sister's room with her. So, because I was sharing a room with my mom. Okay, so now you see, now you got these gold flakes in there. Oh, pretty, pretty shaky, shaky. Okay, so now we're going to decorate the front of the card. And I'll show you how to do that. And I'll finish my story as I'm showing you how I stamp. Okay, so this is here's the stamp set. Oh yeah, let's do this part. I am an odd duck. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Suzanne. Thank you. I'll take that. I don't mind. Okay, so we're going to stamp the U from the Amazing You stamp set. We're going to stamp that in Emerald Envy. And I just kind of have it lined up. We're going to stamp that like here-ish. And I've lined up the word with the top of my block. So that's how I'm lining up it on the card. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Okay, and then we're going to put these little party blowers on there, but I want to show you how to stamp the party blowers. Okay, so that U was from this Amazing You. And then I'm using Picture Perfect Birthday, just like they did in the catalog. Okay, so, oh yeah, I've already shown you that, and I already have these out here. I set up for this video like yesterday morning, or yesterday evening, and so I've forgotten how much I've already done. I just want to show you how to stamp these, but since there's fussy cutting, I already stamped them and cut them ahead of time. But I want to show you, how to stamp them because it can be a little confusing. So I have the Flirty Flamingo for the party blower part. No, I'm not. I'm doing my video right now, so you can't come in here. No, I'm live on camera. You go. No.
Wait, it's just one.
Okay, go ask Daddy because I'm on my video. Close my door. Okay.
Go potty.
Oh, well, go potty. You don't need to tell me that.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell anybody that you need to go potty. Okay, okay.
I need to wash my hands down.
Okay, okay, okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, my son Frankie. Okay, so I don't know if you saw what I did, so I'll do it again. Okay, so I've got Flirty Flamingo. I stamped off once, and then I stamp it here. This is to make the little party blower. And then you can either do the stripes or the polka dots to make a little, yeah, the kids. I'm going to use the stripes to do a little extra design on this. Let's see if I can stamp it straight. I can never stamp it straight live on camera. But see, when I have my Stamparatus, I'll be able to do that perfectly. But anyway, you get the idea. So just line it up. And then, so that's, okay, that's, why do I have two ink pads open? Oh, okay. This is from when I stamped you. Okay. So, and here's the little fringe from the party blower. I'm going to stamp that right at the edge of the little roly-uppy part. I didn't stamp that very well, but I'm just showing you this to kind of get the, give you the idea of how you do this. Because really kind of the trickier part is, I can't put that anywhere, is this part. Someone called that a toilet paper roll, which I thought was hilarious. It does kind of look like a toilet paper roll, if you don't know what it's for. But it's for the edge of the party blower. But I'm sure you could make some kind of bathroom humor type card that uses it as a toilet paper roll. So there are these little ridges. And there are two kind of longer bits right here. Let's see, can you see that? Two little longer bits right here. Bits right there. And you kind of fit those bits into this little dip. And so that's what I'll do here. And And so then, yeah, so that's how you do the party blower, if you can see that. So anyway, so there's that one. So I've done 2 of those. Okay, so my mom was in room 1202. And my sister, I got some ink on that. My sister was in room 805. Well, I went up to 1202 and I got I'm going to cross these right there. And I'm just going to glue them on. So I went up to the room and I got my Doritos because I had forgotten them and I needed them. So I brought them back down to my mom's room, or to my sister's room, and I knocked on the door. And I was like, and no one answered. And so I knocked on again, but this time I did this super cutesy knock, you know, da 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 da. And I'm like, this is my super cutesy knock, shave and a haircut, right? So they didn't answer. So I texted my mom, shave and a haircut, meaning I'm knocking the shave and a haircut knock. Why aren't you answering? And we might put this one right here, but I want to see how it looks first. Nah, we're going to leave that one off. So I've just crossed those there with the glue. And now we're going to make the bow. So, but I'm going to finish telling this first so I don't keep you hanging, because I know y'all are dying to hear the end of this. So I knocked my cutesy knock, and finally the door opens. And I'm expecting my mom right there. And there's this man standing there. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's the wrong room. I had gone to 802 instead of 805. I had gotten confused. And they are situated exactly the same. So, like, when you look at 802, it looks exactly the same as when you're looking at 805. So, so there's a man standing there. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm at the wrong room. I got turned around. And this man says, you know, that's the second time tonight. And I realized it was the same man I had yelled at outside the hotel and shouted at him for scaring me. So I was mortified, and that is my hotel story. That tells you how crazy I am. So it was super fun and super embarrassing for me. Okay, so now we're going to do the bow, and I'm going to show you how to do them. I've already stamped them and cut them out because they're fussy cut. So here's Pool Party. So when you do the bow, what I do is I stamp in the same color for the bow and the shadows. And for the bow itself, I stamp off once. I didn't get a good stamp off, so let's try again. Stamp off once and then stamp it. And then the way I do it with the shadows, I line up the shadows. There's this little shadow piece that's kind of got a notch in it. That is the easiest one for me to line up. I'm good value. Thank you, Jessie. I'm glad you liked my story. And I'm glad you liked it too, Suzanne. So I line up this little notch shadow with this little part right here. That is the easiest for me. And if I put the bow at the top, or if I put the notch at the top of the bow and the notch at the top of the shadows, that's the easiest way to line it up. So I don't stamp off when I do the shadows, and just stamp straight down. And there you go. So then you have your little shadows inside the bow. So that's how I do that. I've already got those cut out, so you don't have to watch me fussy cut. And then we're going to put those on our card. And then we're going to add some little sparkles. Okay, so the pink one goes here. Oh, I did those backwards from the other card. Where are my dimensionals? Okay. I'm just going to... Y'all use the edges of your dimensionals, right? Make sure you use the edges of your dimensionals, because you get even more mileage out of the dimensionals. Okay. And yes, I use too many dimensionals, but I just, like, my fear is that someone will get one of my cards and there'll be a part that's supposed to be raised and it'll be flat, or it'll have a dip in the middle. I'm probably going to still send this, but even though I somehow smudged ink on it. So, and I'm going to do it here too, on dimensionals. So, trying to think if there were any other funny stories. they buried my papa in the wrong in the wrong plot. They buried him in the wrong spot. Like, he was supposed to be on the other side of my grandmother, who died 39 years ago. And I thought I was like, wait, why is he over here when his name on the headstone is over there? And sure enough, my aunt finally asked, she's like, when are you going to move the headstone? And they said, oh, you don't move the headstone. And they said, well, then you buried him in the wrong spot. They had to call the mayor to get permission to dig him up, because they had already put him in the ground. So they had to get permission to dig him up and move him. And it was not funny at the time, but as soon as it was over, it was very funny. So we're all laughing about it, because he would have, oh, I didn't glue this down very well, so all my stuff is shaking out. Okay, now it's good. I mean, I didn't tack down my my frame in there. So I know, good grief, right? So it's very small town, West Texas. So I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. Okay, so, oh yeah, we're going to put some let's embellish the front a little bit with some more of these flakes. These things, oh, I guess I have plenty right here. These things kind of go everywhere on you, but they're really pretty. So I'm just going to put a couple of spots down with the fine tip glue pen. I know, it's horrible, isn't it? But we're like, he would have laughed. He wouldn't have laughed if it had been done, if he'd been buried in the wrong spot, but I think he would have laughed about it being, done to someone else. So we're like, oh, we're going to go ahead and laugh about this, because it's kind of funny. So I'm just putting the glue down and putting my lid back on. You have a little bit of time with the fine tip, glue, so it's more important to get the lid back on. So then let's see, put some little flicks on. Hi, Judy. I'm having a little bit of bedtime crafting while I'm waiting for my Instant Pot to finish. Okay, I'm just going to open this because I can't pick these things up. Okay, so I'm just kind of dropping them on, and then we'll see what sticks. And if all of those stick, I'm fine with that, because I like lots of shiny things on my card. And then also they got caught on here, so some of those will fall off at some point. But anyway, so there's the outside of our card. Oh wait, let me put a few more, right here. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. I'm not sure if I like it or not, but maybe. Okay, now we got to do the inside of the card. And I've got the happiest of... Okay, these gold glitter flakes, I'm not sure about them, because they are... So I have happiest of birthdays to you here, because they go everywhere. They're worse than regular glitter, maybe. But I'm a lover of regular glitter, so let's see. Let's line this up. Line that up. And... Okay. So we've got, I love the sentiments in this stamp set. You get Cue the Confetti, Happy Birthday, Today we celebrate wonderful, brilliant, fabulous you. Treat yourself, which obviously I will be just putting treat yourself. Celebrate the good stuff, and happiest of birthdays to you. I love the fonts that they used, so very happy with those sentiments. And I was going to stamp this. That was going to be my demonstration of the stamping, but instead I'll just glue this one on. Glue another party blower there. And then we will be done. We'll stick it on the inside of the card, and then we're done. So I won't have this up on my blog until tomorrow. Well, which is what I usually do. It goes up the next day. It'll go up tomorrow because I haven't taken pictures yet. So, and I need daylight for good pictures. So we'll see. So it'll be up sometime tomorrow. And I should be back to regular blogging, but my mom's here, so we're kind of just playing everything by ear. Yeah, we had fun shopping today. I was so excited when I found both my clock half off and my lamps. It made me happy. So, and then I found this really cool frosted teal vase that I grabbed, and it was $6 or $7 or something. It was super cheap. I got a gold flake in there. It's gonna stay. So anyway, probably send this out to one of the people in the Random Act of Kindness card group. So if you're not in that group, join up. And because it's a super fun group, we send cards to each other. And that's it. That's my video for tonight. Oh, thank you for the likes. I like that. And so you've got it with the gold flakes or with the sequins. The sequins are definitely a lot less messy. The flakes though are so pretty. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I might have to get sold on the flakes because they're everywhere. So anyway, thanks for joining me and thanks for all the comments. I didn't think I would get anyone on here. Thanks, Suzanne. I didn't think I would get anything on here, anyone on here this late at night. So, but I guess it's daytime for half the world. So good. Anyway, I'll see y'all next time. Oh yeah, next week I moved to Tuesdays because our homeschool co-op will be back in session on Mondays. So I will be here on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. starting next week. So I'll see y'all next time. Thank you. Bye.